Leela, the brave, determined captain of Planet Express, who can take on any danger the universe throws at her, except when it comes to love. Here are Leela's most disastrous relationships, one after another. Let's begin with the first disaster that set the tone for all of Leela's future heartbreaks. Love's Labours Lost in Space, Season 1, Episode 4. Leela is tired of her bad luck in dating. After another awful night where her date reveals a gross lizard tongue, she meets Amy and the others to talk about the date, while everyone throws advice her way. It feels like every man she meets is either arrogant, strange, or completely wrong for her. What she doesn't know is her next choice will end up becoming the most humiliating mistake of all. The very next day, the professor sends the Planet Express crew on an important mission. They must fly to Vergon 6, a planet hollowed out from mining dark matter, and rescue 2 of every animal before it collapses in on itself. While on the way, they encounter the Nimbus, the massive starship commanded by the pompous Captain Zap Brannigan and his loyal aide, Kif Croker.
He's the most decorated captain in the whole Democratic Order of Planets.
Leela's got a boyfriend.
No, I don't.
Leela is impressed by Zap's reputation and his stories of heroic victories, so she decides to go aboard the ship to meet him. But as soon as they meet, Zap immediately starts flirting with her, showering her with awkward compliments.
You're an impressive piece of captain, beautiful and deadly, a potent combination.
Things quickly turn sour when he declares they can't carry out their mission because Vergon 6 is now a restricted zone. It's typical Zap, full of rules when they suit him. When Leela refuses to back down, Zap orders his guards to throw her in prison. That night, he calls Leela to his room and attempts to seduce her with his shallow charm. Leela makes it clear she's not interested, telling him she would rather rot in jail than spend an evening with him.
Can I please just go back to prison?
You'd rather sit in prison than spend one evening with a zapper?
Much rather.
Zap, however, crumbles into pathetic tears, claiming he's lonely. For a moment, Leela's strength gives way to sympathy. That small crack in her defense becomes one of her most disastrous relationship choices yet. She gives in, spends the night with him, and immediately regrets it the next morning. When she wakes up, Leela quietly tries to slip away, hoping to erase the memory of the night before. But Zap wakes up and proudly calls her my woman, convinced he has won her heart.
Listen, Zap.
Now you're officially my woman. Kudos. I can't say I don't envy you.
Leela immediately sets the record straight. She tells him the night was a mistake, explaining she only gave in because she felt pity for him. During their argument, she makes it clear that she's going to save the animals on Vergon 6, with or without his help. Zap, smug as ever, tells her she's free to go, but warns that she won't succeed. He insists she'll get tired and eventually come crawling back to him for the sweet candy of the night they spend together.
We both know you won't make it halfway to Vergon 6 before the craving sets in. Then you'll come crawling back for another taste of sweet, sweet candy.
The mission itself soon spirals out of control. Leela finds and adopts a small three-eyed alien named Nibbler, unaware of his strange powers. But soon after, the ground begins to tremble, and the team realizes Vergon 6 is collapsing faster than expected. They rush back to the ship with the animals, only to face an even greater disaster. The fuel tanks are completely empty. In the middle of the crisis, Bender pushes Leela to call Zap for help. She refuses at first, but as the planet crumbles and the ship runs out of fuel, she reluctantly makes the call. Zap answers with smug delight, twisting her request into something dirty. He demands she beg for his help sexually, and on which she agrees. But then he demands to throw Nibbler out of the ship. That's the breaking point. Leela cuts the call in fury, realizing that her brief pity for Zap has now turned into complete humiliation. Luckily, Nibbler saves the crew by producing dark matter fuel. The mission succeeds, but Leela's personal disaster lingers. What should have been a straightforward rescue turned into one of the most humiliating chapters of her love life. Instead of strength, she left with regret, forever tied to the night she gave in to Captain Zap Brannigan. Next up is a story where Leela thought she had finally found her people, only to be betrayed. A Bicyclops Built for Two, Season 2, Episode 9. Leela, always feeling like she's the only Cyclops in the universe, finally logs onto AOL. Yes, the internet, and meets another Cyclops in a virtual video game. Before she can make a connection, Fry blasts the virtual avatar away.
I can't believe it. I've dreamed of this moment all my life.
Soon after, the mysterious Cyclops sends her a video message. Curious, Leela abandons her popcorn delivery and follows the coordinates to meet him in real life. He introduces himself as Alcazar, the supposed sole survivor of Cyclopia after it was destroyed by the eyeless mole people of Subterra 3. He shows her the planet's landmarks and brings her to his castle.
Is that anything like a cemetery? 'Cause I gotta take a leak. Ow!
Fry, that's offensive to our people, isn't it?
Oh!
Alcazar claims that Cyclopia's smartest scientist sent a baby into space before the destruction. Leela wonders if that baby was her.
I used to be a baby. It might have been me.
Overwhelmed by emotion and the idea of rebuilding her race, Leela decides it's her duty to help by procreating with Alcazar. At first, the relationship feels dreamy, but soon Alcazar grows abusive. He forces Leela to do menial chores, leaving her feeling trapped in the worst possible domestic nightmare. It becomes clear he sees her as unpaid labor, not as a person he respects. When Leela finally pushes back, saying she's not his maid, Alcazar immediately turns to emotional blackmail. He pretends to be hurt, sighing that maybe their relationship isn't working, and then twists the knife further by bringing up her deepest vulnerability. He reminds her that the Cyclopean race is nearly extinct, and implies that if she doesn't stay with him, their people's future will be lost forever. That weak spot breaks her resolve, and she instantly agrees to whatever he wants. From then on, Leela's reduced to chores, scrubbing dishes, washing clothes, and even styling her hair and dressing up like the obedient housewife he demands. Alcazar goes further by mocking her in front of his friends, flaunting his power while humiliating her. On the other hand, Fry gets suspicious and sneaks into Alcazar's lair. He stumbles into a trapdoor and lands in a dungeon. That's when Leela herself admits she hates how Alcazar treats her.
He's crude and gross and he treats me like a slave.
Then dump his one-eyed ass.
I can't.
She nearly breaks it off until he proposes marriage. Torn, Leela accepts, thinking it's the only way forward, but the moment seems doomed from the start. Fry escapes and storms into the wedding scene, dragging Bender with him. They burst in just as Alcazar and Leela are about to say "I do." With them come 4 women, each of a different alien species. Alcazar had planned a multi-planet wedding scheme. The shock unmasks him. He's not a noble survivor, but a shape-shifting, cricket-like alien. He admits that he was playing them all, staging weddings to get free labor for cleaning his castles. All those promises of rebuilding his race, a total con. Leela jolts out of her fantasy and returns home with Fry and the team, feeling the weight of yet another romantic misfire. Following that disaster, Leela tries again with someone from her past, and it ends just as badly. The Cyber House Rules, Season 3, Episode 9. Leela gets an unexpected invitation to a reunion at her old orphanarium.
Garbage, huh? I'll take care of it.
Bender, stop! It's a baby!
At first, she didn't want to return. After all, it was the place where she was constantly teased for being the one-eyed girl. The memories are painful, and she feels no need to face them again. But when Bender and Fry encourage her to flaunt her success, she decides to go, aiming to show them all how far she's come. At the reunion, she notices an old photo of her group and remembers how, as a child, she once had a crush on Adlai Atkins. Soon, her old classmates waste no time mocking her again, just as they always did. But then Adlai, the only other orphan who has grown up to be successful, steps forward and shoos the bullies away. Later, he apologizes for ever making fun of her. Now a skilled phaser eye surgeon, Adlai surprises Leela with an unexpected offer. He says he can make her look normal by giving her the appearance of 2 eyes. She wouldn't actually be able to see from the second eye, but to everyone else, she would finally look like an ordinary person. Despite Fry's warning that she doesn't need to change, Leela leaps at the chance. The surgery succeeds, and for the first time, Leela sees her reflection with 2 eyes. She feels overjoyed, as if a lifelong burden has been lifted. Her happiness bursts out in small ways. She throws away her old monocles and even rushes to buy glasses and binoculars, thrilled to use them like any other person. Adlai is delighted, and soon he asks her out. Fry is visibly jealous, but Leela enjoys the attention. On their dates, Adlai talks about wanting to settle down and have children, and Leela suggests adoption. To her relief, he agrees. They go to Bender, who is running one of his scams by adopting 12 children for government money. There, Leela meets a girl named Sally, who has an ear on her forehead and a tail. The other children mock her, and Leela immediately feels her pain. Remembering her own childhood, she decides to adopt Sally without hesitation. But Adlai recoils in discomfort, suggesting they perform surgery on the girl to make her acceptable. Leela is furious. To her, Sally is perfect the way she is. But Adlai coldly responds, "Exactly the way you were fine before?"
She's fine the way she is.
Oh, and I suppose you were fine the way you were.
That one sentence cuts Leela deeper than any insult. She realizes at that moment her relationship with Adlai is built on the same cruel judgment she endured as a child. The love she thought she found is not love at all. It's just another form of rejection. In a burst of clarity and self-respect, she rips off her prosthetic eye, demands that Adlai reverse the surgery, and embraces her true self once again.
Now take me to the hospital and put my eye back the way it was. Right now!
Their romance collapses right there. Now ending with Fry, we see how even real love can still be disastrous when doubts never fade. Overclockwise. Season 6, Episode 25. This episode begins with Qbert overclocking Bender to make him perform better in an online game. Bender becomes so powerful he starts predicting future events. Priceless. Until Mom's bots come hunting to reset him. Meanwhile, Leela goes to Fry with a heavy heart. She takes a deep breath and says, "Can we talk about our relationship?" Fry, smiling and hopeful, answers that it's the best thing in his life.
Of course, our relationship is the best thing in my life, so I'm sure I'll enjoy talking about it with you.
But Leela's face shows unease. She admits she's worried about their on-again, off-again pattern, the constant uncertainty that never seems to go away. Fry tries to reassure her with simple honesty. If it were up to me, we would be on all the time. And I mean, all the time. Still, Leela can't shake her doubts. She wonders aloud.
If we were together, where would we be 10 years from now? Still here?
Definitely.
He sees no problem with the unknown future, but Leela is restless. Maybe I'm having an early life crisis, she admits. But don't you ever wonder about the future?
Maybe I'm having some kind of early life crisis, but look, don't you ever wonder about the future?
Fry looks at her softly and says, "Sure, but you're also in it." His words are heartfelt, but they don't erase the cloud of doubt hanging between them. Back on Earth, Qbert and Professor Farnsworth are dragged into court by Mom for violating Bender's license. The company sinks under the weight of fines, and the pressure finally breaks Leela. She makes the painful decision to end things with Fry. She tells him that their future feels too uncertain, and she can't keep holding on. Fry, heartbroken, whispers, "Maybe someday we'll find out." Leela kisses his forehead gently before saying goodbye. The loss crushes Fry. Standing on a bridge, it suddenly collapses and he breaks his foot. Between the professor in jail and Leela leaving him, Fry is swallowed by despair. Feeling like everything he loves is gone, he climbs into a barrel and throws himself into Niagara Falls, asking only what his chances of survival might be. Instead of death, Fry crashes into a hidden cave, where Bender, now omniscient, controls everything. Fry pleads with him to answer the one question tearing him apart. Will his future with Leela bring happiness? But Bender comes up with excuses, saying it's getting late and he has to build new elements. In court, Bender's conscience wins out. He defends Qbert and the professor with a clever double jeopardy argument, destroying Mom's case, until she resets him back to his normal self. Soon after, Leela returns. She admits she can't stop thinking about the place, and about Fry. She asks Bender one last time to predict their future, but it's too late. He's no longer the all-knowing machine. Still, before his reset, Bender had written down the answers to important questions. He hands Fry and Leela a folded paper. They open the paper together and read it in silence. Their faces soften, and in that quiet moment, they share one of the most realistic and tender moments of their lives. But this beautiful moment also underlines why their romance is so disastrous. Leela still questions whether love alone is strong enough, and Fry still searches for certainty about a future that can't be promised. So there you have it, Leela's journey through the most disastrous relationships in Futurama, from arrogant captains to lying imposters, from shallow surgeons to her complicated bond with Fry. Her love life has been a constant test of trust, doubt, and heartbreak. Each romance promised something real, yet left her with regret instead of certainty. Do you think Leela ever found the partner she truly deserved? Share your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this look back at her most disastrous relationships, hit like, subscribe, and join us for more deep dives into the wildest cartoon love stories.